So, just a quick disclaimer, this is for people that are trying to pursue passions legally. So, if you're a drug dealer, you know, prostitute, this ain't it. Whether you're about to go to an early class that you don't enjoy, but you're taking it because you need to get this major because it'll make your parents happy, or you've graduated college, you're pursuing your passions, but your parents are continuously telling you to go back to school to get a better degree or to go get a job that'll actually make them proud. Sound like you? Hey guys, it's Blossom. And I'm currently in a position where I'm living my life relentlessly. I'm building on my passions and I'm trying to pursue my passions and my dreams, but my parents do not support me, do not believe in me. How am I still functioning, you know? How is that working out for me? I'll tell you my secret sauce. Come here. Actually, I'm gonna come there. I stopped caring. If your parents don't believe in you, first things first is to come to terms with that and be okay with your parents not believing you. Because the thing is, you don't need their beliefs. You don't need their support. You don't need anyone. If we're gonna be frank about this, you don't need anyone's belief in you if you wanna believe in yourself or pursue your own dreams. Your top supporters most times are people you don't even know. So I make YouTube videos, there's always this one fine girl. Most of the times, yeah, she comments on my videos. Her name is Norma, and I see that and I see her name pop up almost all the time when I'm making the video. I didn't know this person at all in the beginning, but the fact that she would almost always comment like, it really be the ones you don't know that are trying to help you grow. Ain't that something? And yeah, it sucks that the people that cared for you and nurtured you do not believe in you or don't support you. But that brings me to my next point. Why does it matter to you? For some people, it's nice and it makes them feel good to know that they're doing something and their parents believe in them. That's cute or whatever, but you don't need that. Like, if you have to wait for your parents' approval to do something that you want to do with your life, then you don't want that dream enough. You don't want it enough. I'm not gonna lie, it would really help if I had my parents' belief in what I can do, but I'm not gonna sit around and wait for them to say, okay, good, you're doing great, keep doing it. I'm not gonna do that. So there's some people that want their parents' opinion for morale. We already established that that's trash and that you obviously don't want your dreams enough if you're waiting for your parents, okay. But let's say you actually need your parents' support financially. So let's say you're still in college and your parents are paying for you to go to school, but they want you to go to school to get a degree in something that you don't want to do, but they're paying for your education. So there are three options. There's three routes you can take. I'll start with the first one because this is the route that I highly do not ever recommend, and that's lying. And what I mean by lying is you go throughout your 4 years of undergraduate experience telling your parents that you're gonna major in computer science, and on that 4th year they call your name up to get your degree, your diploma, your bachelor's of art in history, and your mom has a heart attack and dies. That's why I don't recommend you lying about what you're doing in college. Like, that is your parents' money. They do have a right to know. And like, that will just sever so many ties that cannot be glued. You killed your mom. Another option, although a lot more difficult, is to be more independent when it comes to finances and try to pay for school yourself. Get a couple more jobs, learn a skill that you can monetize, freelance, you know, tutor, sell some stuff, apply for more scholarships. Heck, you might even have to transfer. They can't tell you what to do if they're not paying for it. Yes, I know that it sounds like a lot of work, and it is, and it sounds very difficult, but it is doable. I didn't do it though. I compromised. So that's another thing you can do, compromise. But you have to make sure you're compromising and you're treading carefully when you do so. My parents wanted me to go to medical school. But I still had a big interest in health, so I majored in public health. Even though I did get a lot of pushback for my public health major, you can still use it for medical school, and so that's what they thought I was doing. I'm not doing that, but I did compromise in the sense that they're a little bit happy and I'm a little bit happy. So that's what I did. Now there is a more extreme version of compromising, which is why I said to tread carefully. So I read about this story. I don't know if it's true or not, but this one dude, he didn't want to go to medical school, but he did to make his parents happy. So he did medical school, and then he pursued and persevered and did, I think he was a doctor, and so he treated a lot of people and whatnot. And then his parents died, and so he made a speech about how he did all this for them, and now he's gonna live the life that he wants to do. Okay, I don't recommend compromising like that, because first of all, what if you die? You live in your parents' life, but you died. Why would you do that? Why? I mean, granted, that can be a bit extreme, and you know, what if you don't die? But that's just something that you really have to think about, because when you're doing something that you don't want to do, a lot of times you won't put as much effort into it. You won't put as much energy into it. It really depends on your motives. If your motives is to make your parents happy, then you probably will do better. But if you're over it, if you're over that, then it's gonna be harder to do something that you don't want to do for the sake of them. It's definitely possible to sacrifice yourself, your happiness, to make your parents happy, but I don't recommend that as a sustainable way to live. I feel like that opens the door for a lot of mental illnesses and debt. When your parents don't believe in you, I think it's also a little important to understand where they're coming from. My parents come from Nigeria, and they're the older Nigerians. So statistically, that means that they're more likely to be hard-headed and closed-minded than compared to the rest of the population. That's just fact. I'm not making this up. For my parents, school is the only safest and surest route to success. I mean, sure, you see people like Flavor and Mr. Ibu and Sophia. They're all great, and they belong to somebody's parents. Somebody's parents birthed these kids. My parents want the best for us. They want us to get a good education, because that way we're more likely to get good paying jobs. I totally understand that. Now, when you realize the differences in between their one route trajectory to success and your multiple routes of trajectories to success, things start to click. Once you recognize those differences, and once you understand that no matter how many times you try and explain yourself to your parents, and the amount of time you waste trying to convert them to believe in you, you realize, I'm a clown. You realize that you're wasting time. All this time you spent talking about it, you could be focusing on how to get out this house. You could put that time back into your own investments. You put that time back into your passions, your career, your dream. Like talk. You stop talking about it. Just be about it. And that's my second to last point. Don't talk about it, be about it. For a lot of parents, their children are their prize. First, if you have a kid, that's brag worthy. But if you have a kid that is doing well, that's even more, that they can be braggadocious. Your parents will like to brag off of you if they can easily say what you do and that what you're doing is filled with some sort of level of prestige. Like, hey, my daughter works at Grady Hospital, the #1 hospital in America. They can't brag about you if you live in your house and you just typing away, doing blogging or content writing or whatever you do. They don't have nothing to, what am I gonna say? Hey, my daughter sits at home all day and clickety-clacks on her computer. Like, that's not brag worthy. I mean, to me, I think owning a business at this young age is pretty popping, but I don't have anything to show for it that they can understand yet. So your parents don't believe in you. Now what? Find people that do. In Revelations chapter 3, verse 16, the Bible talks a little bit about lukewarm people, and that's people that are kind of interested in God and kind of say what he does, but also kind of don't. Like, they lukewarm about him. And God was saying that he spits lukewarm people out of his mouth because, you know, it's lukewarm. We all need to be like that and spit lukewarm people out of our lives. As a creative or someone that's going against the grain, you don't have time to be hanging around or being buddy-buddy with people that don't 100% believe in you. Because when you're a creative and you're going against the grain and just starting out, just doing something, by yourself, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be discouraging, especially when you have parents that don't believe in you. You're gonna come across multiple times, multiple days in your week where you just feel defeated and discouraged. And especially when you still live at home with your parents, it's gonna feel like your parents are just pushing you down. Do this, go back to school. What are you doing? You're wasting time, you're wasting my money. All this negative energy just pushing you down every single day. In this life, we all doing squats. You feel me? Like there's negative energy pushing us down, and we just take that weight and we pull ourselves up. But the friends, the close friends that believe in you, they are your spotters. You feel me? So like, I'm doing a squat. So my friends are right here. I'm pulling the weight up, but my friends got me in case I break my back. You feel me? They helping, they spotting me come up. Then you squeeze the glute, and then you do it again. Make sure you activate the glutes, go down. Okay, let me stop. And lastly, remember that although our parents have the currency of knowledge, we have the currency of youth, okay? We can make mistakes. We can hustle our butts off doing unconventional things. We have time. Time is on our side. Not saying that we can lollygag all this time, but if we mess up, you know, if maybe what we wanted to do isn't exactly what we want to do anymore, you know, we can bounce back. We don't have any kids. Most of us are still living with our parents, so we don't have to worry about rent. This is the time to experiment with what life has to offer. This is a time to explore yourself, to figure out what you're good at, to figure out how to be better at it. This is that time. This is the perfect time to be selfish with yourself and with your time. No bills, no kids, so who cares if your parents don't believe in you? This is the time to believe in you. This is the time to invest in you. Just saying. If you feel like someone needs to hear this video, if not you, please share this video. And also, if this has helped you in any way, shape, or form, let me know in the comments, y'all. I love comments. Honestly, love comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.